Hi guys, welcome to another episode of a Sunday session, a Sunday solo, whatever, I already forgot what it's called. Today's topic is one that hits pretty deep for me because I unknowingly was chasing happiness and didn't realize that that's not really what I should be chasing, ever. I think that chasing happiness is short-lived and very cheap. Whereas fulfillment is something much more deeper. It's living from your core, it's living from your values, it's fulfilling your purpose, it's pursuing your passions, it's overcoming your fears. And so the reward is much greater. The reward is fulfillment. And I think that's what we should be pursuing. So today we're going to talk about what happiness really is versus what fulfillment is, which one matters more in the long run, how to foster each of them, what happiness can lead to and what fulfillment can lead to, how chasing one can actually take you down unhealthy habits and patterns such as binge eating, whereas the other one actually helps you create a much more intentional life for yourself. Let's get into it. Happiness is a feeling. It's short-lived. It's like dopamine, eating that piece of candy, having dessert, getting that high when you're working out, going out with friends, having a drink, partying. These are all, in my opinion, things that give you fleeting happiness. When you have a feeling of happiness, I think it's coming from much more inner, deeper place. But we call that happiness, and I don't think that's what it is. It's something deeper than happiness. So usually it's external. External things trigger it. If I were to say, I've had lots of moments of happiness throughout my life, but I think the most fulfilling times of my life are starting in my 30s. Definitely didn't even know what fulfillment was before this. So what is fulfillment? Fulfillment is hard to explain if you've never experienced it before. At least for me, it's a little bit difficult to put into words because it's not just a feeling. It's not a moment. It's more of like a stage. It's more of like a chunk. It's deeper. It's longer. It lasts longer. It like has wings and expands over my other areas of my life for longer periods of time. It's like right now I could say that I'm very fulfilled. In my 20s, I was not fulfilled. Teens, definitely not. Didn't even know what it was. Right now, it's like I can say I'm fulfilled. I'm not missing anything. I'm not chasing anything right now. I'm very much in the journey and enjoying the process of creating. And I have goals, but they don't take away from me feeling very fulfilled right now. Like several times a day, I can stop myself and say, wow, this is it. I'm doing it. Like nothing else that I consider on my list that I want right now could give me fulfillment. I can look at all of those things on my list and say, happiness, 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 happiness. They're all short-lived. I want them? Yes. Am I working towards them? Yes. But I still pull my fulfillment and my overarching well-being from my purpose right now, my work, my craft. Nothing else can give that to me right now. Fulfillment comes when you see people, a lot of artists, doing things, not making a lot of money. The money would make them happy, but it's their art and their craft that's giving them fulfillment, right? You have people who are working at their careers or people who give back to others and open foundations and get into philanthropy. That's fulfillment. That's not happiness. Fulfillment's deeper. It's living from your core. You know, the things that make you happy are not of substance, so to speak. Fulfillment is really not about what's happening around you, aka the external, which I mentioned earlier. Happiness is. Fulfillment is more just what's going on inside of you, the deep inner core of you, the energy that you're carrying with you, even if things are rough and tough or hard or you're hitting obstacles. I'm using that as an example because right now that's for me. Like I can have a tough time or a tough day in my health, but it's not carrying me away and like putting me down in the dumps and making me super unhappy because 90% of my day, 95% of my day is focused on growing my companies. And that to me is fulfilling right now. When I shift my focus to what fulfills me, I am still in my core living from fulfillment. Fulfillment carries me through. I can be fulfilled and still find happiness. But when you're happy, you can still be unfulfilled, right? Like go online shopping, buy what you want to buy. You come home, you try it on, and then you sit on the couch and get into your snacks, and now you're binge eating and watching TV or doom scrolling all at the same time. Those are all things that you think are giving you happiness in the moment because you're not coming or showing up to your home after shopping fulfilled. But if we're fulfilled, we don't look for that cheap dopamine high. We don't look for that quick hit or that quick fix. We don't look for that energy drink. We don't look for that caffeine. We don't look to drinks with friends. We're just here in the moment. What fulfills me? My work, my dogs, staying true to myself. I feel very fulfilled when I overcome obstacles. I feel very fulfilled when I get over my fears, when I'm learning something new, when I'm getting better at something and I can afterwards step back and say, wow, I finally did it. I'm very fulfilled when I stick to my to-do list. And that's like not when I cross things off and I see that all the things on my list I have achieved and done over the week. It's a very fulfilling feeling because I know, number one, I make those lists very intentional, where all areas of my life are being taken care of. Health, fitness, family, friends, dogs, marriage, work, content, and anything and everything is just all taken care of. To me, that's a compilation of my life. Therefore, I feel fulfilled. Looking at that checklist that's all crossed off, I'm now living from my inner core, knowing that, look, I did it. I said I was going to do it and I did it and I proved it to myself. So it didn't come from the external thing. It came from me accomplishing something and staying true to my word that I was going to do these things. That is an example of true fulfillment. Nature walks is fulfilling. Hanging out with family can be fulfilling. Hanging out with friends can be fulfilling. I think sometimes it's just happiness. And there's nothing wrong with admitting that. That's totally okay. I'm not a people person. So for me, socialism and being around all of that energy and stimulation, I can only take it in small doses. After that, it becomes very tedious for me. I've always been that way. Nothing new for me. And I'm sure there's plenty of people out there who feel like I do. So for me, it's more fulfilling to just actually turn my brain off and relax, because I don't usually. So for me to be in my own space and just let go, like getting a massage to me is fulfilling, because that means I turned my brain off for 2 hours, because I really don't think about anything. My phone's not there. It's just me time. And I actually shut the world out for this period of time. And to me, when I step away from that, it's very fulfilling. It's not about the massage. It's not about how good I physically feel. It's about me overcoming my monkey mind, my Gemini mind, so to speak. What's the difference between the two? Happiness is a state. Fulfillment is a direction. So happiness is in the moment. It's how I feel right now. Fulfillment is like, this is the direction and the state and trajectory of my life right now. Fulfillment is what I'm going towards or what I am experiencing at the moment. It's where I'm headed or the direction that I was trying to head in. Happiness is not something you don't chase happiness. Remember, chasing happiness doesn't happen. Happiness happens right here, right now in the moment. Fulfillment is something is fostered. Fulfillment is built by, again, I'll use myself as an example, by things I'm building, by things I'm overcoming. That's fulfillment. It comes from me and then it stays within me. Happiness is more external. It's what I feel in the moment, the energy rush, the high, the excitement, the freedom feeling, when you're at a concert or drinking with your friends. Fulfillment is deeper. It's a reward for what you're really doing. I think fulfillment is a really good gauge or a tool for measuring if we are all really fulfilling and living out our highest purpose in life. So you can sit there and say, yeah, I love what I do, or this makes me happy, my family makes me happy, my kids make me happy, my dogs make me happy. I love being a mom right now, it makes me happy. But what you got to look for is not happiness, fulfillment. I don't think that giving to just one area of your life can lead to fulfillment. I think fulfillment sometimes ends up being a culmination of things. Little pieces of everything, but then there's something that you're doing for yourself. There's something that you're following, this inner compass, this inner voice of yours that leads you to fulfillment. And I'll say this, after talking with so many people on the show, I think very few people actually are lucky enough to live a very fulfilling life or do something that's very fulfilling or feel the feelings of fulfillment more days than not during the week. Happiness is the cupcake. Fulfillment is a nutritional plan. One makes you happy and one is super fun. The other one sustains you in the long run. So if what you're doing makes you happy, you'll do it until it becomes hard or becomes stressful, or when something else happens in your life, it'll take a back seat. Fulfillment pulls you. The vision of it pulls you because it makes you feel so fulfilled. So for an example, and again, I'll use myself, no matter what area of my life might be failing or not doing too well, the vision of the company pulls me out of my rut, if I get into a rut, because that's more fulfilling to me than anything else right now. So it's not that I'm stressed or I have to do it or I have to keep this thing alive. It's not so logical. It's more just deep, inner-rooted alignment with feeling like, yeah, this is it. And now, after some time, the fulfillment is more of like a vision pulling me, and then me just enjoying the journey, because that fulfillment feeling stays with me. It doesn't go. It's not gone. Even when things get tough, it never leaves you. Happiness, on the other hand, leaves you. It's very fleeting. It's very short-lived. It's in the moment. You can be happy but unfulfilled. Look at Instagram. Like 80% of influencers, they look happy, but how do we know if they're fulfilled? I shouldn't say anybody on Instagram. You can tell the ones who are really fulfilled. You can tell the ones who are doing this for a paycheck. You can tell the ones who are putting up a farce for the world because they think that the world is perceiving them a certain way when they post certain things. Again, you can be happy. You can be happy when you post and you show yourself in a certain way, but you could be unfulfilled at the same time. Whereas I think when you're fulfilled, happiness is kind of like this, right? You just know when you're fulfilled, you don't chase cheap happiness. And I think that's a lot of the reasons why when people become very successful, you'll see they buy less and less things. I can see why that happens, because what they're doing is so much more important than what any amount of money can buy them, that now they know that I'm doing this for the fulfillment feeling and the vision. I'm not doing this to flex on anybody. And that is why you do see where ultra elite, ultra wealthy people have this, quiet luxury thing going on. Sure, don't get me wrong, they still have fun and they still spend it. They don't put an importance on it, let's put it that way. The energy around it, and if you missed my energy on wealth, please go back to last week's episode. They don't put the same amount of energy into stuff because they now know that it's fleeting. They'll still go get it when they want to get it. They'll still wear it and use it. They're not chasing it because it's fleeting. I think a lot of us in our 30s start to feel that way, to be honest, where stuff is just stuff. I remember being in my 20s. And I remember being in high school, girls having Louis Vuittons. And I never got one. My parents could never afford one. Like, they gawked at me. I'll never forget it. And now looking back, I can't even believe I asked for one. Never got one, though. And now in my 30s, it's just like, you just know that it's cheap happiness. It doesn't give me, when I'm in the mood, fine, but it's not what I'm obsessing over all the time. Like, when you want something versus when you need something, or when you want something but you're okay if you never get it, that means you're finding some other place of your life that's more fulfilling. That's a very good sign, actually, in your life. If you're like, yeah, these things just don't mean the same to me anymore, because you found fulfillment somewhere else. You don't go for the cheap happiness anymore. Why does fulfillment matter more? Don't get me wrong, happiness is not bad. I still think that we are here on earth as humans in these human suits with our human emotions to still experience happiness. But I think that we should all be aware that fulfillment is more, and fulfillment is something that we should be working towards, not happiness. So when we ask a child what makes them happy, I think that we should try to explain to them what happiness is and what fulfillment is, to the best of our ability. I understand they're kids, but I think it's important to decipher the difference between the two and why fulfillment matters more. When you start to chase happiness and you're completely aloof or unaware of what fulfillment means or feels like, you are chasing what feels good now in the moment, but it could cost you later on. Fulfillment's the opposite. This is how people get stuck in negative behaviors and patterns such as binge eating, doom scrolling, toxic relationships, the narcissistic wife or girlfriend or husband or boyfriend that you just can't seem to leave, caffeine, energy drinks, sugar, alcohol, going out every single night of the week or always going out with your friends and never sitting with yourself. These are all ways of us chasing happiness. Feels good in the moment. It's numbing. It's addicting to the brain. We are in a habit of it. It's expected, it's desired, it's wanted, and so we do it. Fulfillment pulls you out of this toxic cycle. Fulfillment sustains you in the long run. Fulfillment in your career or your passion or your purpose keeps you going because the vision pulls you, not the other way around. Fulfillment is very anchoring. You can feel this is very hard or this feels tough for me, but like the vision is pulling you nonstop and you're going to get through it. It's not anything that you give up on. When something makes you happy, you're more apt to give up on it and just like walk away. Whereas when something makes you fulfilled or you feel fulfilled when you do something, it's that fulfillment that keeps you going, AKA it sustains you, whereas happiness kind of falters you along the way. I think people who prioritize fulfillment are happier. They are healthier. They are more successful. They're living from their inner core and in their inner truth. And you can feel that in their presence when they're around you. They're not frazzled. They're not scatterbrained. They're not chasing cheap highs or cheap dopamines. You're not going to see them chasing alcohol or abusing food, abusing sweets. Like they can like things. They can prefer things. They can do things. But you'll just see there's a sense of order in their lives, so to speak, as opposed to chaotic, all over the place, going to every event, going out all the time, hanging out in tons of social circles. This is where you are chasing something. And they might not even know it. You know, they might have people who have FOMO. I think people who have FOMO, that's such a great example. People who experience FOMO are not fulfilled. I believe fulfillment literally cuts FOMO away in your life. Like that there's you cannot be fulfilled and have FOMO at the same time. It's not possible. They just make better decisions. They live more with peace. They live more in alignment in life. They're not looking from a high. They're actually living from a very constant state of, I'm good. It's good. I got this. They're living from their core. They're not living to feel the next thing that makes them happy. Like I mentioned before, both are fine. I'm not saying we shouldn't be happy. We should. But there's a time and place. Again, life is what you make of it. So I think if we disbalance the scales and keep chasing happiness like it's a goal, only to realize that it's short-lived and it's actually hurting us in the long term, then we rob ourselves of feeling fulfilled, being pulled and led by a vision that's greater and greater than ours. We rob ourselves from living a life that's to our highest and best. So how do we foster happiness the healthy way? Be present. I think when we are, and listen, I do it too. I'm not judging anybody because when I do these episodes, guys, like a lot of the times I'm speaking to myself, okay? When I come home after a long day or say that for some reason, I'm just not grounded enough, right? I worked, and have lost sight of like, I'm fulfilled and everything's good because I'm so used to chasing happiness. Come home, you drop your bags, I reach for chocolate or peanut butter, that's what I do. And sit down on the couch, find something on Netflix, which takes me like an hour to begin with, but that's a different episode. Then as soon as that movie or show turns on, I pick up my phone and I start doom scrolling. So now I'm eating peanut butter or chocolate, watching TV, and I'm doom scrolling. What is all of this? This is me filling some sort of void, completely being not present in the moment. I'm not being present with what I'm eating. I'm not being present in what I'm watching on TV. And I'm not even being present on doom scrolling. I'm doing like 4 different things all at once. What am I avoiding? What am I doing? I'm not being present. So we just need to be more present. And I think when you're present, really like fall deep into your heart space, feel where your feet are at this very moment, and then say like, what should I do? What do I want to do? Do I actually have energy to go fold those clothes instead of sitting in front of the TV? Or is there a show that I really want to watch? So I put my phone away in the other room and actually watch it. And I think I'm done with my peanut butter, so let me put this away. Practice gratitude. This one's helped me a lot. Every night before I go to bed, I always used to pray. But in the last several years, I've definitely have had the blessings of counting the things that I have in my life to be grateful for. And I can actually see them. And you know what? The saying is true. Things go really wrong in your life to help you appreciate when things do go right. And so for me, after things being so wrong for so long, I am definitely in a place where I definitely count my blessings at night. I'm very grateful for the day. I'm very grateful for the people in my life, the people that I get to work with, my family, my friends. And even though there are a lot of scenarios in my life that need a lot of work and a lot of tough things that I'm still dealing with, that my family's still dealing with, I still find it like it could be so much worse. It could be worse. And that's something that has really helped me go to sleep with a smile on my face and just know like tomorrow's another day. We will get there, but so lucky to be here in this moment. So lucky to have come this far. So lucky to get to experience this life and this journey. And the older I get, I definitely feel like I have this viewpoint lately of, and I think it comes from, the reason I'm saying this, guys, I think it comes from because I'm feeling so fulfilled after chasing cheap happiness for so many years, finally feeling that fulfillment, which by the way, I've talked to my husband about this and he's like, I've been feeling fulfilled for the last 10 years of my life. So I'm like, that has made one of us. But I finally know what he's been talking about, like I get it now. Where like traveling is great, stuff is great, but I was definitely the shopper in the family and I was definitely the one chasing things in the family. And he was just always like a very steady, like so honed in on his craft. And I always knew he loves it. He's obsessed with it. That's his passion. That's his purpose in this life. Like I know that. But now I know what it feels like to be pulled by something greater than you instead of you forcing things or you chasing things to prove to other people or to prove to yourself. That's the difference. I just have to get present and then I feel happy. I just have to count things that I'm really grateful for. And then I get happy because my core of fulfillment is sustaining me. You see, like it's right there holding me, grabbing me, sustaining me, keeping me alive, that to then find happiness is so easy. Be present, be grateful, play and rest. It's very, very easy to rest when you are fulfilled because you're not looking for that cheap high. You can actually be calm. You can sit there not on your phone. You can go for a massage and relax. You can actually go get your nails done. I know a lot of people lately are like, I can't sit in a nail salon for 2 hours and I get fidgety, I get this, I get anxious, I have thought, maybe there's like a bigger problem going on. You should be able to sit and pamper yourself if that's your thing without feeling like you got to get up and go somewhere. You should be able to. That's like learning how to quiet the monkey mind, how to be present in your body, how to be grateful for yourself, showing love to yourself, pampering yourself. When you are fulfilled, you know that this too fills your cup. These things make you happy. These things give into your fulfillment as well, because when you look good, you feel good, you take care of yourself. They all work together. They all work synergistically. Play. When you're fulfilled, there's a time and place for everything. Okay, it's travel time. I'm not working on this vacation. I'm not going to do this on this time. I'm home now. It's after 7 o'clock. I did what I have to do. I'm really good to go. This is my time with my dogs or my kids or my family, whatever that may be. Schedule time to go play tennis, go play soccer, go play with your friends. There's a difference between you chasing friends or drinking or partying or playing versus you wanting to do something because you know that I actually want to go play for an hour. It's a different energy that you should show up with. You're not avoiding yourself. You're not avoiding sitting home alone. You're not avoiding anything. And you're also not looking for a cheap high. You're just like, okay, I have time for this. Let's go. The fourth thing that you can do to foster healthy happiness is avoid comparison. Guys, I've said this before on other episodes. Jealousy, comparison, why does she have this and I don't? Why does he get to do this and I don't? I've been down that path. Listen, I have been down the comparison path, not the jealousy path. I never had jealousy. I've always had, I think I've mentioned this before, possibilities. When I see someone doing something that I think I would like to do or I want to do, I think, okay, it's possible. They can do it, I can do it. Comparison now, I have compared. I've been like, why does he get to do something like this and I don't? That's definitely happened to me before. Or I wish that I could be as fulfilled as he is. That I have definitely gone through those moments, but not have felt envious that they shouldn't have something and I should. No, but it was more of like I want to get to that part of my life as well. I don't want to be sitting here, whatever it is that I was doing or not doing in the moment. So 4 ways to foster happiness in a healthy way. Be present, practice gratitude, play and rest without any guilt, and avoid any comparison. Remember, happiness, it's a gift. It's not a goalpost. Because if you look at it as a goalpost, you're going to keep chasing it, and you'll end up chasing the wrong things, aka the things that don't sustain you but are short-lived and maybe not even healthy for you in the long term. Now let's talk about how to cultivate fulfillment. Fulfillment takes much more intention. It's funny though, like right now while I'm speaking to you guys, I feel like I could not talk about this topic a year ago. I don't think I would know. I don't think I'd be able to relay correctly what it feels like. But like today I can. It's much more intentional. It's cultivated. It's built over time. It's a lot of being in the process of things and just like enjoying the process. It's, to me at least, it's a lot of creativity and a lot of imagination. Logic really doesn't make me feel fulfilled, but creativity and imagination and then seeing those things come to light has definitely given me a lot of fulfillment, for sure. The first thing you can do to foster fulfillment is define your values. What truly matters to you? What looks good but doesn't feel good? Integrity with your values. Align your values with your actions and with your intentions. This equals long-term peace. Pursue purpose, not praise. I mentioned this earlier. You don't want to do things so that other people perceive you a certain way. Very small example, posting on social media, posing as one thing, but in reality, you are another thing. I get it. There's a lot of people just trying to make a living out there. No hate on that at all. But the ones that are posting and putting up a farce on something, I think if you can sit there and spend that time actually facing your stuff and putting your time and effort into, instead of posting, pursuing your purpose instead of pursuing praise or likes or comments or hearts or DMs, you're going to have a much more fulfilled life, and this fulfillment and happiness will sustain you longer than making that one post. Now, this example could be used in almost any area of your life. That's up to you to figure out and get outside of yourself and look at yourself and see, like, where am I chasing cheap happiness? Where am I doing things for praise versus for myself versus for my core, my inner passion, my inner purpose? The third thing you can do to foster fulfillment is invest in things that help you grow. Mentioned this before too. Invest in nutrition plans, health, fitness, things that sustain you in your life. Foster real relationships, real friendships. I always say this, man, 100 friends, big social groups, big groups of girls and communities, great. They all serve a purpose. But to have like your core few friends, which is how I have always lived, and I think that's a really good reason as to why have always been a person that maybe I wasn't always fulfilled in my work, but I've been fulfilled as a person in a lot of ways, is because I've always been that girl to have a very close-knit, a few girlfriends. I was never one to run in large circles. In high school and college, definitely had a bigger group of people. But as you grew up, like, we grew apart. And so I've always sustained that core. And thus I've never felt the need to, like, I don't know, keep up with other people, be like other girls, try to like have tons and tons of friends. So I always have something to do and someone to talk to. No, just always rooted first and foremost in myself, and then definitely rooted and have tons of confidence in my relationships with my current girlfriends. I believe has helped me sustain my social life in the long term, and also my mental health and also my confidence level. I don't run from group to group. Now, I do have friends in different social circles, but I have a core group of just a select few that I have known for years and years and years and years. And when I think about that, that's a very easy way for me to take and replicate into any other area of my life where I desire fulfillment or where I have been chasing cheap happiness or dopamine. Be of service. There is no better antidote to anxiety or depression or feeling down and out or lost or confused than being of service. Go do something for someone who can't help themselves. Go to a nursing home, go to a hospice, go to a hospital, go give to the needy, go help an animal shelter. It changes your perspective on life. And you know what else that does? It helps you, to the things I mentioned earlier, helps you be grateful for things, helps you be present, helps you get outside of yourself and realize I do have it really, really good, and I've been taking advantage. And I've been taking advantage of the things that God or the universe has blessed me with, or taking them for granted, sorry. And I do have a lot to be grateful for and thankful for. Play the long game. Nothing in life comes easy. If it's coming in fast, it's going to leave fast. I'm sticking to that. I don't think anything of value can happen overnight. That's not being negative. It's just the truth. I think when you get something of value or become someone of value or feel fulfillment, which is a long-term game, you realize that it's all about the journey and it's about the person that you're becoming along the journey. Simplest way I can say it. Even if I say today, like, guys, I feel very fulfilled these days, is because of the person I've become over time. It's because of the person I continue to evolve into every day with all the new stuff that I'm venturing out into. That's why it's fulfilling. The trap of addictive happiness. When you choose happiness without grounding, and I alluded to this earlier, it feels very chaotic. It feels very edgy and fast, flighty, short-lived, very much like you can get hooked on it. Again, back to my chocolate, desserts, sugar, energy drinks, caffeine, all these things in our life that we have. Always going out at night, always drinking, always partying because you can't sit home alone, sit with your thoughts. You need constant validation. You need your mind to be constantly engaged in something or several things at a time because you're not grounded. Ultimately, when you seek or chase happiness without first being rooted and grounded, you're always going to pick the wrong thing for you. You're always going to pick the cheap happiness and the cheap dopamine for yourself. You're always going to want more stuff. You're always going to want something new. You're always going to have distractions. It's a constant loop. We can't get out of it until we become aware of it. Like I always say, life is what you make of it. We become aware of our patterns, our negative behaviors, and then we shift our mindset, we shift our actions, and thus we have a new life now. Fulfillment will break this loop. It's going to be steady. It's going to be self-sourced. It's going to come from within. You're going to be living from your core. It's going to be deep-rooted. It's going to be more wholesome. It's going to be more fulfilling. It's not about chasing. It's about living from within. So here's your truth bomb for the day, guys. Happiness is a moment. Fulfillment is the lifestyle. I'll say it again. Happiness is the moment and fulfillment is the lifestyle. We can travel, we can have the dessert, we can hang out with friends, we can buy the handbag and the fancy shoes, but just know these are fleeting moments. Don't hinge your whole life and happiness on them. Certainly don't do these things because you think people are going to look at you some sort of way and praise you and think, oh my God, she's so cool or this or that. That's not lasting happiness. And by the way, over time, the emptiness and the hollowness that you feel inside is apparent to other people. So trust and believe they're not always praising you. They're probably going to be like, wow, how pathetic. Okay? And ultimately, you're going to wake up one day in your 30s, 40s, 50s, or even 60s and say, what did I just do? Was this it? Both happiness and fulfillment matter. One builds your life, the other does not. One gives you the moment, the other one builds your life. When you live in fulfillment, you actually create more happiness for yourself on your own terms. But most of the time, when you are chasing happiness, you're not fostering fulfillment. You're not even giving fulfillment a chance to enter your life. So I want you guys to ask yourselves, am I chasing a feeling or am I building a life? What would shift in this moment? How would my decision or choice change in this moment if I choose fulfillment first? When you're reaching for something, I want you guys to ask, is there a void I'm filling? When you're clicking buy in your shopping cart, do I need this? Like, what is it in the present moment that I just feel like I have to trigger buy this thing? Why am I going to the kitchen to get another piece of chocolate? Why am I reaching for my 6th energy drink today? What is the problem? Am I not okay? And again, do the things that I mentioned earlier. Become present. Name 5 things that you can be grateful for. Look around you and realize the things that you have that do give you fulfillment. Don't chase the cheap happiness in the moment. Because remember, every little decision, every little thing that you do over the course of your life and years builds up. So that's either going to build your life in a good direction or it's going to build up as, a bad habit, gained weight, toxins in your body, unhealthy body, anxiety, depression, all of these things. So you have to become aware. And guys, I do believe in the 80-20 rule. Hey, Monday through Friday, lock it in. Okay? Saturday, Sunday, do whatever you want. Okay, fine. Just give yourself that much. Life is ultimately to be lived. It doesn't have to be one way or the other way. But just a simple notion of becoming aware of, am I chasing cheap happiness right now or am I chasing fulfillment right now? Am I even fulfilled? Have I ever felt fulfillment before? Do I feel fulfilled? I'm sure a lot of you could say that you don't feel fulfilled. You might not even know what it feels like to be living from your core. But I hope that after today's episode, you take the time to answer these tough questions with yourself. Guys, as always, thank you so much. If you're still here, thank you, thank you, thank you. DM me, Nina Pal Dixon, on all social media platforms. Chai Tea with Nina D on all social media platforms. And remember, life is what you make of it. We become aware of our negative patterns in behavior or in thinking or in perspective. We change them, and thus we change our lives from the inside out, all to just hope that we, live to our highest potentials. I'll see you guys next week.